Welcome back to our discussion with Kaitlin Bulavinetz, Chief of Staff to the Chief Software Officer of the U.S. Air Force, as we've doggedly tried to solve for X in the SDLC equation. Kaitlin, do you have any suggestions as to how the provisioning of tools and services can be improved or expedited to keep up with the accelerated pace within the U.S. Air Force?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think enabling automation whenever possible is very important. That's a key component of DevSecOps. And when you're looking at how to move faster, that's really going to be what makes a big part of the difference. I think when you're looking at provisioning the IT infrastructure as code is really important because it makes it possible to automate. And then you're managing and provisioning the infrastructure through code instead of a manual process. So yeah, that would be the key way, I think.
Is there something that can be done also? I mean, part of the DevSecOps approach, I think, is to experiment with different provisioning, different tools and different technologies. But sometimes that can be hampered by purchasing cycles and getting that. Is there something to address that as well, or are we looking at that at the Air Force?
Yeah, I think when it comes to buying tools and the purchasing cycles, that's where Agile Contracting and that's where buying capacity of work instead of buying requirements is a key part of it, because you are not saying we need this specific tool or we need this is our thing, and we are not deviating from that at all. It enables you to be more flexible, so that as you keep going through the work, eventually you're going to need to make some adjustments. That's just life. Right. So yeah, so it gives you that ability to make those adjustments and to work with the vendors who are part of the team, so that you're able to leverage their expertise and you're able to use different capabilities. Yeah, so it's a big piece of it. Flexibility is huge.
And I think the need to have the vendors continuously improve their products and innovation based on discussions and interaction with your agency personnel in order to make their product or service even better. So it benefits both obviously the agency and the vendor themselves, and not just get into a pit and compete, but to collaborate and search for the actual need in the service as opposed to just trying to compete and win an award.
Yeah, it's very true. It's again, it's a different way of looking at things, right. But I think it's exciting because in the private sector, you see companies team together all the time because right. They recognize that one company might be stronger at X and they're stronger at Y, and then together they're able to get what it needs to be done. So it's really just enabling teaming in real time so that you're not forced to make those to be locked into those decisions right off the bat that maybe it looks like it would be the best idea in the very, very beginning, but as you get further and further into the project, well, you need to bring in another team. You need to bring in another teammate, and you don't want to get. It can take a long time to make those contractual changes. When you're trying to move at the speed of relevance, sometimes you don't have that luxury of time. So having the flexibility in the contracts that give the guidance, but also enable the vendors to really do what they do best, and everybody can contribute their best work.
Right. There's enough work out there for everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kaitlin, and I think we all can agree that this topic, in particular, from the DLT perspective and other service providers, is the Rosetta Stone in terms of dealing with the public sector, and it's very refreshing to hear the innovator approach that the U.S. Air Force is taking with trying to provide the tools and the playing field for people to compete and also contribute to the overall success of your mission, which is the biggest goal that everyone has as a U.S. taxpayer, is to make sure that the Air Force is successful and they achieve their mission, and they do it cost effectively, and they do it for the right reason. So thank you for all your time. And thank you for all the previous episodes that we've had with ContinuousX. And we'd like to thank our listeners for their time and attention as we continuously strive to solve for X in the SDLC equation.